All right. So this video is also requested. So we're going to jump into this one real quick too. We're going to talk a little bit about sensuality and spirituality, and how a lot of people have an issue with it. But in this video, we're going to talk about sensuality, spirituality. I know I'm reading the script. You get my bad. This is also going to be talked about in depth in the trauma series later on, as well as the a few other places in it. Not just the self trauma, but it's going to be talked about in a few other places as well. Since there's a lot of ground to cover with it, we can split it up in multiple points. So this is going to be a shorter video to kind of bridge some gaps, talk about some things that I wouldn't necessarily need to talk about in any other video. Or if I do talk about it, just have some form of reference point to push back to. But when it comes to sensuality and spirituality, many people have issues rooted in the dogma of religion, forgetting that we're on a physical realm as well. So we end up forgetting to cater to ourselves in that manner. We also have sexual issues with the sacral chakra that can prevent us. We also have lust and desires that can prevent us from seeing the truth in things. There's a lot. There's also a lack of self care, and we'll talk about those points a little bit. But with the religious dogma having impact with spirituality, here's the thing, and we're going to talk about this heavily. The conscious community, and we're going to be talking about the conscious community because they are really the main reason for why people are even down this pipeline of confusion and self rejection. They what they're doing, and I don't think, I mean, I know people notice it, but a lot of people don't. But what the conscious community is doing is they're literally taking spirituality and pushing it back to religion. How many people do you know that once they started being spiritual, they ended up becoming Christian again, or following a form of religion, or having a leader, or having faith in one person, putting so much energy into one person that they're like, oh my gosh, I needed you today, but you weren't here. That's a religion. That's like culty activity. So be very aware of that, y'all, and don't put yourself in that type of position because then that rips a lot of energy from you, making you feel dependent on a source that doesn't really need to have that type of dependency, right? As well as a lot of people within this the spiritual community are all just the same thing. They're all bots. They all say the same thing. They all like they're selling you something. It's about money. And you know what? I don't care who says it's not about money because I'm gonna point it out to you real quick. If it's not about money, why are you using buzzwords to grab people's attention? If it's not about money, why are you using catchy thumbnails to get people to view it? If you have a message that's important, if you have a message that needs to reach people, it will reach the right people. There's not a need to put all sorts of buzzwords and stuff in your title. It's about money. These people are craving it. And if they're not craving it, then tell them to do something different. Tell them to stop doing the one same thing over and over again. Why can't you move? Why can't you do something different? Why can't you teach and help? Because they're robots. They're not real. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it for them. And that's the one thing that you really have to watch out for with these people. And it's yes, you got to focus on yourself, but at the end of the day, when you're sent here to help people so that they can leave this plane and go back to where they came from and not reincarnate all these times and be stuck here whenever the reset happens, because childhood is going to happen. It always does, but we don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be a flood? Is it going to be a fire? Is it going to be another Atlantis situation? We don't know. And people who say that they do know are lying out their ass. What they're doing is they're taking religious scriptures and stuff, forming their own opinion, and then trying to sell that. Okay? And while we're on this topic, because I'm going to talk about it a little bit here too, if we want the truth, if we really want answers to questions that no person here can really answer, and I don't mean answer by pulling stuff out their ass, I'm talking about an actual factual answer. The only person to do that on this realm who was sent here to do it, who was prophesied and then born, prophesied by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is Dr. Malachi Z. York. And if he does not get out, he's coming home. First of all, this year he's coming home. But we need people moving forward. We need people talking about it, because when you want people to know about the master teacher being home so that you can get answers for questions that no one else has answered, or get actual defined answers from things that people say that they know things about but don't. Who cares that someone keeps talking about the Palladians, Nilarians, all these beings? We know about them by now. There's a million videos on it. This is regurgit. This is just people throwing up in the people's mouth. This is just centipede. This conscious community is a game of centipede. That's all it is. I have to break it down for some people, because this is a curse. This is a spell put over your life that you need to escape. Go to Nuwapu. It is the full truth. It is right knowledge. It is right understanding. It is truth. It cannot be defeated. It cannot be defeated. It doesn't matter how much mythology, how much opinion you throw at it, it will stay so strong. This is why so many people in the spiritual community are lost and confused. And even though they may be living a good life, what does that mean? What does a good life mean? Why are you looking at the way someone's living rather than the way that they're speaking? Someone could be scamming behind the corner and you wouldn't even know. But you only trust them because of their physical, not their spiritual, right? Anyway, free Dr. Malachi Z work, because whenever he comes home, he's going to be able to answer questions that people don't have answers to, and answer questions that people believe they have answers to, but really fucking don't. But we need to talk about these things as well, because the conscious community is awful when it comes to it, and everyone who participates in it is just as guilty. You know, this is why I was talking about making that switch. That's why I made the switch. That's why it's been a topic for a while, because more and more people need to start realizing this stuff. And it's not even funny. It's not funny at all. It's awful. But with religion having an impact with spirituality, many people think sexual desires are bad and evil, as well as desiring to have a pursuit of form of materialism, which is impossible not to have materialism on a material plane. So don't let the ones who are lost lie to you on that one. This is the devil at its finest, to make you feel wrong, to want love, to feel wrong, to want to be in a dream position, to since to make you feel like you're doing something wrong. We're surrounded by sin. We're not taking part in it. A lot of us are sinners. We're just surrounded by sin. We're surrounded by people who pervert these topics, pervert these emotions, these feelings, this energy. They pervert it, they distort it. And then all of a sudden, we can't do it ourselves because we feel like it's bad, because then we put ourselves in their shoes and then we walk their path of life at the same time. Meanwhile, they live ours. And it's this weird thing where people want to call it destiny swapping, when in reality, all it is someone living your dream and you're not doing it because you deem their actions to be bad. And then you don't end up standing up for yourself. You end up not allowing yourself to move forward with your plans and do what you desire to do. So be very careful of that. Okay? You are allowed to have material things. You need a house. A house is a material thing. You need some form of shelter. You need some form of food. You need some form of money to survive on this plane. And the ones that say, no, you don't. Yeah, you do. You need some form of income. You need some form of transaction, some form of energy transaction, some sort of currency. Without that, you'd just be dead. You wouldn't have anything. Look at things from an energetic point. Not everything is as physical and tangible as it seems. Look at the transactions of how you're acquiring these things. It's deeper than that, and most people can't think like that. That's okay, but for the ones that can, understand that. Anyway, my lord, everything that we see in this world uh can feel like a temptation to do wrong, which isn't quite right. Everyone desires to have a partner to be with, to mate with, and everyone gets urges or has moments that they need to have some form of self pleasure, right? And when this happens, people always think it has to be sexual. And this is because, well, the media that we've been raised around forever has been sexualized. I literally remember as a child, catching on to the sexual innuendos in cartoons and stuff, and I was really confused about them. Like it's a thing. All the sexual assaults that happen as a child, all the you know the inappropriate body contacts that teachers and family members do, it's all part of the devil's plan, so to speak, if you want to say it like that, to pervert you enough to when you're old to make you either afraid of it or hyper wanting it in like in a hyper way, like hypersexuality and things of this nature. Feeling like these things are wrong will mess up your sacral chakra, making you feel undesirable due to your thinking that you have these kind of desires and that they are bad. Remember, not everything is sexual. Sensuality and sexuality are two different things. Look at the words: sensuality, sense, touch, physical. The this sexual, it is sex. All those things. Look at how it's spelled. Seriously. All right. Anyway, these are the exact thought patterns. Sorry, I had to do something real quick, but this is the exact thought patterns that is caused either by self or by someone externally distorting it with the form of sexual assault, sexual desires, or distorting it with one of the deadly sins or things of that nature, right? Since I have a video planned for healing from the sexual assault, we won't really focus on this one. We will, however, focus on the pattern of feeling unworthy, and a few other things as well. But growing up, being seen as less or picked last all the time, being silenced, not being able to voice yourself, not being able to be artistic, because there are people who grow up who aren't able to draw, who have those strict parents and be like, yo, you can't do this. I want you to do this growing up, so you can't do all these other things. Being forced to participate in sports or things of that nature, being forced against your will all make you feel unworthy. You feel undesired. Along with that, some people don't choose themselves and end up people pleasing too much, which also causes undesirable. But without with not choosing what you desire for, and allowing people that people please, going down that pipeline, you'll feel like you have to give more to receive a little or any at all. So what you need to do is you need to practice seeing yourself worthy. You need to see all that you've done for yourself. And if you can't think of one thing that you've done for yourself, you've created yourself. You've made who you are. You've made your patterns, the way you see things. You made the way you think. You've done everything. It's all created by you, and it's your view. Don't take this as a good or bad thing. Do not do that. Practice on seeing it as neutral, as I don't think I'm able to create anything. You created that mindset of lack. So that means you can create a mindset of abundance by doing the exact same thing, but just switching up the words. It's really not that hard, but people don't break it down like that. And everyone just says, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, without breaking it down. What do you mean? Like, oh, do shadow work. Okay, what is that going to do? Damn, I'm going to do shadow work. And it does not increase me at all. Why? Because they're not telling you the instructions. Because these people in the conscious community don't even know how to fucking heal. They haven't even healed a day in their life, because if they did, they'd be able to tell you what steps to take to heal. Rather, oh, you just need to relax and do this, and oh, just take some ashwagandha and you'll be no. Tell them how to fucking heal. Stop being a poser. Stop being fake, and actually help people heal. Because this is what this world needs. Allow this to empower you to see that since you created all things as you see it, you can now change how you see it or enhance it if you want to see greater results, whatever is desired. Next, you made it where you are in life right now. Despite what you've experienced, despite the struggles or however, you've made it from there. Despite you wanting to follow your dreams, you made your dreams. However, you know what I mean? From there, just let your heart show you more. We tend to forget a lot when we don't let our heart guide us. As well, when we go over to lust and desire, they are really almost the same. One is just stronger than the other. When you lust, it is stronger than a desire. Lust will hold you back, as lust comes from a place of lack. When you desire something, you don't you don't like it, but you would either like more of it or you would like to obtain it. And what you're doing is you're figuring out how to. It's not that you lack, it's just that you're needing more experience or more work. However, work on the lack mindset you may have if you struggle with lust. You have all you need inside of you, but you're reluctant to either accept or take action with that information, right? So you either like sit around and say, well, since I don't have this, I guess I just don't need to have it and I don't deserve it, or it's not meant for me. Or you end up taking action towards what you desire, which leaves room for less to come in. So be very careful with that. When you begin to start feeling your feelings rather than thinking about them, they will clearly tell you what they are, even if you don't like it. It's all to help you. Practice being mindful with yourself, not continuing what the external is trying to show you of how you feel of yourself. When you truly begin to understand what and how you operate in a sensual manner, you'll free yourself from the low vibrations you're trapped in by feeling these types of ways. Ask yourself why you don't feel able to treat yourself. Ask yourself why you have to take life so serious and why it's so hard on you. Ask yourself what's stopping you from having fun. All these internal issues, um, all these are internal issues, excuse me. So do your best not to project externally onto anything, no matter how easy it may be. The devil makes things easy, so keep that in mind when doing these exercises. A challenge shows growth and maturity. You can't expect to get a medal and do nothing. You don't get participation trophies in the game of life. You have to be active in it. You get your rewards. You get what people want. Like, I want my justice. Then go do something to make yourself feel like you have justice. What you're wanting when people say they want justice, they're trying to say they want revenge. They want revenge from a third party situation or from some form of divine intervention. And unfortunately for you, that's not going to happen because the divine does not have time to play your petty games. The divine's trying to help people. The Anunnaki are around. Like, listen, God is here. God and them, they're here on earth right now. And you got to wake up. You have to wake up and you have to start going for what you're wanting. Do not be in that mindset of, oh, well, I don't have all these things and nothing's working for me. You're going to say that. That's how it's going to be. They're listening all the time. Change your mindset, change how you are. Trust me. Free yourself from these. Practice non-attachment, balanced, mindful movement, creative expression, sensory meditation, and emotional detoxes. These are all safe, non-sexual ways to increase sensuality in your life. Practice non-attachment by not attaching yourself to outcomes, by not attaching yourself to a certain way of being. Balance yourself by seeing things as they are without sticking close to one thing. Mindful movement is yoga. Creative expression is art, dancing, singing, all these things I say all the time, right? Sensory meditation. You can eat food that you like and not just scoff it down due to stress. Enjoy it, right? Your body is a whole mechanism to show you an experience, and we tend not to do that. We're like, oh, it's food, I'm hungry, let me just eat this real quick. You don't sit there and savor it. You don't allow the senses on your tongue, the little hairs on your tongue, to actually taste anything. Emotional detox. Cry, be honest with yourself. Try your best not to be stagnant. Nourish your mind, your body, and your soul. Don't let the physical stop you from doing what you truly want. Be your inner child again. Remove the dogma from your life. Go outside, get offline, enjoy the company of nature, of a stranger. Go outside, talk to nature, talk to a stranger. Stop lying to yourself by saying you can't trust anyone, or no one's with me, or no one's around me, or I'm alone. That's you and your fault alone. That's the reason why you're in that energy. You are the reason you can't trust anyone. You are the reason no one is around you. Release yourself from that bubble you placed yourself in and be who you are unapologetically. Be real with yourself, live life, and move with truth, not ego, not opinion. Leave the lower chakra stagnation behind and elevate yourself. Don't revolve, evolve. You have to understand that. You have to understand that everything is you. You are the reason you can't trust anyone because you've decided to trust someone who you knew was untrustworthy. And instead of actually believing in yourself or listening to that quiet voice in your head, you went through went through a traumatic experience, and now you're projecting all that trauma on other people because, oh, I can't trust other people. I can't even trust myself because I made a bad decision. So now I can't trust anyone else. Understand that that's what's happening. That's the brain. That's what's going on in the crown chakra, in the brain. That's what you're seeing. Understand, detox your third eye, do third eye chakra meditations, do heart chakra meditations, do sacral chakra meditations, clean, detox yourself, watch what you eat, all these things. As well, what you can do, you can take a bath, take a bubble bath, get around warm water, allow yourself to experience things, stop restricting yourself from seeing things. Be aware, be very aware of this. When you are asleep and you wake up in the middle of the night and your heart is beating out of your chest, that's not your heart beating out of your chest. That's you trying to leave your body. Treat yourself right. I don't know if you heard that click. Confirmation though. Treat yourself. Love yourself. Stop restricting yourself. Stop doing things you don't like. Start doing things you do like. You have all these changes you want to make. Do them. They're for you. And you, like, I don't know if I can. You can't. You can. You would not have had the thoughts to make those changes if you didn't think you could, because you literally thought that you could. You literally thought it. You can. What happens is you don't realize how you are praising both entities. You're literally giving praise to the devil, to the worry, and you're giving praise to the Most High, to God, by accepting that you can, and then you give it right to the devil, like, oh, I can't now. Quit doing that. Quit giving attention to those lower vibrations. Quit giving attention to the stress, to the anxiety, to the naysayers around you. They're not doing it. They're just projecting what they're doing onto you. Don't accept it. Move forward and live your life. Stop watching all these videos to give you a form of false hope to make you feel like you can move forward. Just do it. Just move forward. Stop watching all these readings and people going, wow, who are you? You're so magical. Shut up with that bullshit. Just move forward. Just, yeah, I'm magical. Awesome. Now go. Just block them and move. Seriously, because these are the types of things that get you stuck in that matrix. These are the types of things that get you stuck, and they don't allow you to move forward. You really, really, really need to look at things like this. I'm not telling you any form of lie. I'm telling you nothing but the truth, and you can deny it all night long, but a coward will duck the truth because the coward cannot accept the truth. The world has such a strong ass ego, and it's projected all over the place. It's actually disgusting. The amount of arrogance that people have and they end up projecting on other people just to make them look a certain way is awful. Did you know that half the people in the conscious community are just energy vampires? They're just not aware enough, or they're too embarrassed to admit it. Because, oh, if I say I'm an energy vampire, then I'm going to be looked at as bad. Because guess what? You've been harvesting the energy of so many innocent people to boost your life, meanwhile not really giving them much. Other than like a once in a lifetime, oh, hey, don't do this. Hey, here's a warning, don't do that. Oh, look at this other person in your energy. That's all you're doing. Like, quit. You want to help someone? Tell the person to focus on themselves. Give them things to help them focus on themselves. Give them messages that's actually going to push them forward. Stop putting death on people. Stop speaking death about people. Stop talking about, oh, this person's having innings because they mess with you. And stop. We get it. Everyone gets it. There are millions of videos saying that. You can move on from it now. You're traumatized still. That's why you're still invoking it. Move on from it. Heal. That's really all I got to say. Thank you all so much for this. Thank you for the ones who are trying to escape that spell and the ones who are brave enough to break it, because let me tell you, it's a strong ass spell. You end up thinking that you're going to lose something, but you're not. You're going to gain. So thank you all so much for being here on the healing journey. Thank you so much for all the support. Y'all are the ones that do it. This is a community. This is a community support. So thank y'all so much for that. Share these messages around and get them out. I love you all. To the moon and back, tenfold and forever. Everything's in the description. And I will see you all later.